again. So today, I have a couple of things I want to do, and I'm going to start off by potting up this crest. So, ow. Okay, that's like the third time I have done that. Look at that. I'm actually bleeding. Ow. Like, first, I gotta get that cactus out of there. But I have this crest, which is a ghosty. I believe it is Graptopetalum. And I'm going to cut it. Now, I soaked it last night, overnight, in the water from about to here because there's a lot of roots. And I was hoping it would take up a little water because it's been laying there. I found it with this tip completely rotted. And it was just laying on the ground in the back. So, the first thing, let's get this cactus out of here before it bites me again. I have two, okay, let me pick the stones out of here first. Okay, so got those out. Now this cactus is another victim of me neglecting it this summer and not really watering anything out there. A lot of stuff, a lot of these little ones just died. And it's kind of sad because it had, I don't know if you can see, but it had a couple of pups on here. So I'm going to go get rid of this. And it's gone. So let's, first of all, let's break the soil up. And this should be fine to reuse. It's really nice and dry, which is good because everything that's going in here is going to be cuttings. And I'm not going to bother to harden it off. I'm just going to pop it in. So this is really airy. It has a lot of perlite in here. And it is dry as a bone. But I just want to loosen it up all the way to the bottom. Okay. So it's been interesting today. It is the beginning of October, October 2nd. And it rained today for the first time in probably 6-7 months. And it was quite a bit of rain. I believe we got, well, let me look right here. We got 1 inch, 0.30, so a little over 1.25 inches since about 6 a.m. this morning, and it is now 2 o'clock. So it dumped most of the day up until about noon. It just absolutely dumped. But we needed it. The trees are probably super happy because they were so dirty. All right, so where am I going to cut this? I think I'm going to cut it right about here. It's got a nice, healthy stalk there. And I want to put it, that was really easy to stick it down there because the soil was so loose. I want to put it right there. And now I brought a bunch of other little ghosties that I thought would be cute to stick around in here also. So let me find my little poker. All right, one of these has just a round end on it. Where are you? Oh, looks like this one. There we go. Okay, so I've got, okay, you know what? Let's try this bigger one first. I don't really want to cut these. These were growing, you know, just kind of in a clump when I was redoing the garden. You'll have already seen that video. And I pulled all of these out and reset a lot of them. So I thought this would just be cute if I can do it without breaking any of these pups off of it. Just to kind of stick in here along with this nice big crest. And then I got one more over here. So I've had these sitting in a little tray in some soil for a few days. And I noticed that a couple of them already have roots on them. So I think if I leave it just like that, these are going to plump up. As soon as this roots, these are gonna just take off. But you can see, I don't know if you can see all those roots off to the side. It's been trying to root itself while it was laying on the ground. But now that it's in some soil, even dry soil like this, it will try to root itself in. So I'm going to put some jade pebbles in there to make it look nice, and I'm going to try and do it without disturbing everything. I have a little cup. Which one? Those are the same size. I have a little cup that's meant for doing this, and I don't know where it's at. So we're just gonna use this little one. It'll take a little longer. So this probably won't be, actually, you know what I'm thinking about doing? You know that Opuntia Dark Night that I keep threatening to repot out there, that has the super long, super sharp, just really crazy, evil looking spines. Well, yesterday, Dave took the tractor and went out to the greenhouse and loaded it up and brought it out front for me. So now, the pot that I want to use, did I say that? He loaded up the big terracotta pot that I'm going to transplant that Opuntia into. And the pot itself is really heavy. It's a real thick, very large one. And it's going to be perfect for that Opuntia because it'll be able to stay in there for a long time. So now this won't be a 360 pot because you're only going to be able to see it from the front. And I think I'm going to put it out on the front porch over there so it'll get some good morning light and no harsh sun, because these are all cuttings. And in about 2 weeks or so, I'll just kind of do a little tug test and see if there's any resistance. Now this, I'll know when this starts rooting up because these will start to fluff up. The other little pieces that are in here had just been watered and had been getting water frequently. So they're already nice and fat and healthy looking. So they're not going to really change their appearance at all. But they will appreciate being potted back up because plants are always happy when they get fresh soil. Well, most plants. Some plants do not appreciate being messed with. Some plants don't care. Most succulents and cactus, they don't care. You can just pull them up, move them around, pull them up, move them around again, and they just keep on growing. All right, almost done. I just want to lift. I want to get some under this bottom leaf. Sorry if you can hear my washer. Actually, the dryer's done. And the washer's still washing. The dryer's just saying to me. Okay, I think that's it for this one. I just saw this little pot, and I'm like, oh, it's got a dead cactus in it. Let's go ahead. Since it's raining today, I think the rain has stopped because it's about 2:30 now. I think we're done. But, yeah, that looks much better. And I think this crest is going to take off and be really happy in here. There. That, to me, looks really nice. Get everything out of the back so you can focus on the plant. Look at that. So cute. This little crest. It seems to be growing that way, but hopefully, depending on where I put it, it'll grow back forward. It's funny because these are all the same plant. And look at all the different color in here. How green these ones are. They were probably buried more. And how these have a lot of pink on them. But these are all the same. I think they're Grapta, what did I say, Graptopetalum? Ghost plant. And they seem so this one is just so thirsty. This is going to look amazing. Excuse me. This one's going to look amazing when it's done. Having myself a Pepsi. Pepsi goes in, air comes out. Yeah, I think that's cute. Okay, I'm gonna go put that outside. We'll be right back. And like magic, we're outside. So here's where I put it, and I think it'll do really good there. It'll be out of the direct sun. Oh, here's the rose cuttings that I took. I stick them under soda bottles to keep the humidity, and then if I think they need a little bit of fresh air, I just take the tops off and let some of the moisture out. I should have cut the rose off of that one, but I didn't. I just wanted to see what would happen. But yeah, I've got like 3 or 4 in each one of those. So we'll see what happens. That's the orange rose. But yeah, that looks really cute. It'll be happy there. It won't get too much sun. Look how big my lovely rose have gotten. Remember how tiny these were? And they're so fat. The leaves are super thick. These are the best I've ever had these do. So I'm really happy with those. Everything on the porch is looking really good. Look at my pot here. That is really taken off. This Sahara is just hanging way over. It's really starting to grow. But that looks good. I love it. The little string of pearls are still happy. Oh, got to fill my water back up. I used it to water plants. So we got dumped on all day. And everything out here got a really good soaking, which is good. We needed it. But the problem is, now it looks like my big barrel might be tipping a little that way. Can't tell if it's just the way I'm looking at it. I want it to be level. But so here's what I'm going to do. This is the pot. And I don't know where I'm going to put it yet, but I wanted to get it out here to plant it so I don't have to move it too far. And that's what I'm putting in it. But everything out here is so wet and muddy. I'm just probably going to wait until tomorrow to do this. But this is going to be interesting. It's starting to tip back in the pot. You can see how it's leaning kind of backwards, leaning on the edges of that pot. So it really wants to be transplanted. So it'll be interesting to see how it looks when I put it in this one. But it'll be a lot more, it'll be able to stay in there indefinitely, I think. And it will never outgrow that pot. Squealy, baby, I know it rained all day. Here's what's interesting. It's been so dry out here that earlier when I looked out in Squeal's yard, there was like an inch or 2 inches of water all over, and it has soaked up. Hello, my love. What are you doing? I know, you hate the rain. She stayed in her room all day. That's her room right there with her little ramp. He was out. He doesn't care. He'll get wet. It's about 65 degrees probably, so it's not cold out here. But it has been dumping, and this little princess is a fair weather pig. Aren't you, baby? Good girl. Good girl. All right, so that's all I'm going to do right now. But I will do that other plant, and I'll add it to the same video, so stay tuned. We're not done yet. I'm going to try and get out of there without slipping. I tell you what, the dirt here, when it gets wet, it is so slippery. You have to be really careful. Oh, another thing Dave did. So, you haven't seen it yet because I haven't posted that video. It's not finished yet. But he came over with the tractor and he picked up all the boulders I had that my friend gave me. And he brought them all over here and dropped them so that I can start working on these little flower bed areas. I'm probably not going to plant into the areas. I'm just going to put pots in there because it will get hot in the summer. But I have all these nice boulders to set up. And this stuff really got soaked. My poor little fairy garden. I didn't think about coming out. Remember how I've said before how it leaks so bad there? Look at how it's splashed. There's just dirt all over the wall, and it's just been splashing in here. Now the sempervivums won't care, but my little patio there kind of sunk. So I'll need to clean this up a little bit, rinse the dirt off, and fix that a little bit. This guy, he just caved and fell over the little wheelbarrow. Yeah, that's a mess there, but I'll fix it. But at least everything got good watering. Probably not my Japanese maple. It's tucked back a little. We didn't have any wind. Be so careful walking. It can be really slippery over here. No wind, just rain. Just rain. So I'm a little bit worried about this because that is all cuttings in there. So hopefully that will drain. Maybe I'll tip up one side. It does have a lot of drainage holes. The rest of my rocks are over here. So I have all these. They're not huge, but I'm gonna be able to put them around in this area. All these plants are gonna go way over there eventually. So this whole second half of cotyledon, all of that is cuttings. Most of this stuff should be well rooted, but those I just did. So hopefully this will drain pretty well, and those will those will survive and not rot. But we'll see. Let's check out my dragon fruit flower. I will have already posted a short on this, so if you missed it, go check it out. It's already starting to close up. Look at this flower. And it's really wet from so much rain. This was wide open this morning and is absolutely massive. And then I think this one will open up tonight. This one should open tonight. And I took a little makeup brush and, ran it around inside, got it pollen on it, and then kind of stuck the pollen into the little thing here. So we'll see if I get a fruit out of it. If not, I'll be okay because I'm happy I got these flowers. I really love the cactus flowers. But I would love to get a dragon fruit. That would be really cool. So these little guys might have gotten a little water. Probably not much because they're a little bit tipped back, but yeah, that was crazy. So I'll bring you back when I pot that thing up probably tomorrow. So it's Saturday, and I went to the street fair this morning out in Galt, and my very favorite friends over at Kazumi Nursery were there. They're there every month and have tons of plants. So I got all these. These are all in 2-inch pots. And you can see I've got, let me fix this thing. There we go. Some Echeveria Lola. I grabbed a ton of them. Some more of the Lovely Rose. I had some really big ones this time. These are the Harmsii. I believe it's also Echeveria Harmsii, which looks just like my Pulvinata. And I was talking to Leticia, and she said the difference is that the Harmsii, also known as Ruby Slippers, has red, but my Pulvinata looks just like this. It has red also. So I don't know. I'm confused. She had some Fred Ives, so I grabbed a few of these. And then she had these little ones. I forget what she called them. I got 3 of them. Some Fred Ives, a couple little Aeoniums there, and then some other little, these 2 were kind of cool. I got these 2. These will get pretty big. I got these little, what do you call it? I think this is an Echeveria with the little, I think they call them raindrops or something. So I got all these little ones. And then I got this really cool blue torch, crested blue torch cactus. He wasn't exactly sure of the species, but look at the color. Isn't that cool? You can really see the difference if I put it next to something that's green. That's kind of a pale green. If you put it, so you put it something next to something really green and you can see the blue in it, how pretty it is. And then look at these. Let's go where it's a little bit brighter. I don't know how this is. These are just sparkly, almost white. So cool. It was a Dudleya something. I'm going to have to message him. He told me what it was, and I bought 2 of them, and they're so pretty. I love these. So I'm gonna go pot this one up right now, but I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the rest of these. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. I didn't need any more plants, but you know, they're only gonna be there 1 more month, and then the street fair will be done until I believe March next year. So yeah, it's pretty excited. These are all $2 a piece. All of these are $2 a piece. These were 10. This was 10. But so cheap. So cheap. She did say that next year they're going to be going up because the people that she gets them from will be raising the price. But still, these are like $4. I think the ones that are this size are $4 and more at some places, but they're $4 at the one place that I go to a lot for the 2-inch pots. So they're literally half the price, and they're bigger. They're bigger than most plants. So look at this. I mean, this Fred Ives is already flowering, and this little Echeveria is flowering. Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about those. I'll have to tuck them into one of my videos somewhere. So we're going to bingo tonight, and they have a table that has just a bunch of random little things. So if you win, your neighbors around you all get to go pick something off that table. So I made a couple little plants. You think people will like these? I just put a few little cuttings in each little pot. Are those cute? There's 4 separate ones in each pot. So I just thought, yeah, that'll be cute. Set those on the table and people can have some little succulent cuttings. I just put them in a cheap little plastic pot with a note not to water them for a couple of weeks. But you think people will like those? Hope so. Okay, so now we're going to transplant this Opuntia Dark Night and try to get it straightened out a little bit. It's grown kind of funny, but I've had it, I think, about a year. I think I bought it last year. And it's gonna go in this big pot. So I've got some gloves. I will probably double glove, and a towel, and a little tool to help kind of loosen it up. I think it'll be pretty loose in that pot though. There's not a lot of soil in there. So first thing I'm gonna do is take all this white top dressing off because I wanna save that. So I'll do that, and then I'll bring you back. So hold on. Okay, so we got quite a bit of the top dressing off. It's not gonna look great because it'll have, you know, quite a bit of bits of dirt and whatever in there, but it'll be fine. It'll still look good, and I think it'll look really nice underneath that dark green and purple. So I also took a bunch of soil out of here. So let me go set the camera up so you can watch me poke myself with this thing. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully, I can't see the camera from where I'm gonna be, but hopefully I'll be able to keep this in frame. So first thing I need to do is double glove. So let me get my gloves on. 1/4 inch of leather. Okay, well that's good enough. I can't get this one all the way on, but it's close enough. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay a towel around. Can you see this pad in the video? It's got a complete hole all the way through it. Something just ate that. So I'm gonna try and wrap a towel, and I got a towel that I can, just a ratty one that I'm just gonna throw away because it's probably gonna be filled with glochids when I'm finished. Okay, so let's see if I can get a hold of this and tip this down. I'll break it up. Ooh, it feels pretty sandy. Just want to kind of lay that down. Hopefully I don't break too many pads off, but if I do, I can just reset them. Oh, that came out pretty good. I thought it might be a little bit root bound, but it's really not. So let me get a couple pieces of the towel together so I can kind of support this while I try and lift it up without knocking all the soil off of it. Ugh. Okay, I'm just gonna carry it over and drop it in. All right. Now let's bring you back over here. I've been really procrastinating on getting this done just because, because it's so pokey. So now, let me see if I did any damage to it. It's kind of laying back. Let me move this out of the way a little bit. It's really kind of hanging back, so I'm gonna have to figure out, it's getting hot out here. Whew, I'm gonna have to figure out to stand it up and then pack the dirt around it. Oh, can you see all the spines that stuck in this towel? I don't know if you can see. Can you see that from there? Look at all these spines. It looks like a porcupine went after it. All right, so what I want to do is lift it this way. There we go. And then I'm going to have to hold it down somehow. Whoa. Don't fall. Don't fall. No, no, no. Come here. I need my right hand. All right, can you still see what I'm doing? I can see I bumped this pretty good. Okay, because I really want to hold, oh goodness gracious. Come here, you. I want to hold this up. This is hard to do with gloves on. And pack the back in with soil. I can't get a hold of this. I see I got a spine already in my glove. You're still wanting to fall backwards. All right. Pull that out of there. Oh my goodness, my back. All right, I'm gonna come around the other side here. Let's see. It's going to be heavy on this side as it is because I got this one piece growing out of here. And it naturally wants to lean this way. Maybe I'll put a stake in here to support it. I mean, what I could do is cut these 4 pads off of it. I really don't want to do that though. Let me try and see if I can, first of all, take this off. Get out of the way. Can I hold it without anything getting through there so I can see what I'm doing? Piece just wants to lean this way. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go get a stake. I gotta get these gloves off though. I can't do anything. I'll be right back. Okay, for you, that was instantaneous. For me, that took a while because I ran into Fezzik. I had to go all the way out to the greenhouse to get a stake that wasn't too big. And I ran into Fezzik in the greenhouse, so I had to stop and give him some petting. And then Ray was at the fence, so I had to stop and give him some petting. And I put my glove on and I felt something through there. Is there a spike in there? No, it's okay. All right, I'm gonna put 2 gloves back on this one hand and see if I can't get this up and maybe just get this stake in here next to it as some support. I just want to, because this one is really just hanging. So, but if I leave it, or if I lift it like that and maybe get this right down in there, oh yeah, that'll hold that up. So as the roots grow and spread out, it will support itself. And I'll trim off any pads that grow on this side here and let this side grow in, hopefully. It looks like it's kind of growing sidewards, but you know, we'll see. I can get all these out. They've fallen out. They're just stuck into the spines here. I should get my tweezers, and this will make it look a lot less messy. It had a lot of spent blooms on it, I believe it was when I bought it. Or was it bloomed? I can't remember. Anyway, it looked so messy, but when I went, oh no, I remember what it was. It had a weed growing up through the middle, a big tall weed coming up right through there. And I kept meaning to get to them, but I didn't want to deal with it. When I finally did, it looked so much better. And the funny thing is, the weed came right out, super easy. So I put it off for so long for nothing. Now let's see if I can get more soil in here, especially back here. Pack it down. Oh, I'll be happy this will be done, because I have been putting this off for so long, which, you know, I'm a really bad procrastinator. I'm not the whole, you know, what is it, why put off till tomorrow what can be done today? I should follow that guideline, but I'm like, why do today what you can put off until tomorrow? I'm kind of lazy. Okay, I think that's probably enough soil. Now getting it under there, because the weeds or the spines are really thick right in here, and this pad on this side is almost laying on the surface. Okay, so this, now if I can just spread this around in there. This is all I have of the white. So what I'll do is the next time I go to the nursery, try and get some fresh white rock to top this off with, and then it should look much better. I'm gonna put it into that little spot. I do like to repurpose stuff. Yeah, that's gonna look cool. Once this really grows and fills out, oh, you know what I should have done is I should have thrown some fertilizer in there. I didn't think about it. But the soil is good. This was the pot that big attenuata was that had a couple of pups in it, and I took them out and reset them over there on the patio on the front porch over there. And so this pot's just been sitting empty, but it had, I believe it had new soil when I did that. Let me get under here a little bit. If at all possible, when you're doing this, you kind of want to keep your plants from actually touching the soil. It really does help them from getting fungus and, you know, rot and stuff like that. Just keeps them drier. Okay, that looks so much better. And it's standing up a little bit. Getting here. So yeah, there is a lot of dirt in here mixed in, but stabbed myself in the face. Once I this towel, a spine sticking out, and I just stabbed myself in the leg. Once I go get some fresh top dressing, it's gonna look so much better. So here, let's get this off of here and pick up my gloves, get all my junk out of here, keep dropping things. See what this looks like from a distance. Actually, I'm bleeding and I just barely touched my leg with that towel. Okay, that looks much better. Okay, of course Dave called again as soon as I was filming. I was almost done. And but yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. That can stay in there probably forever. I'll probably go get some tweezers and pick the last of those spent flower blooms off to tidy it up, but it'll be happy. It was the root ball, while it was in the nursery pot, was still nice and damp from the rain we had the other day. The soil in here down low was pretty dry, surprisingly. But it should be fine for a while. I shouldn't have to water it. And if I withhold a little bit of water and it stresses it a little and it starts getting cold, I'll get more of that deep purple coming in. But I love the spines on this thing. Look at this. That's just crazy. And they're stiff. They're not soft and flexible. They stick into you like a porcupine. Oh, it looks like I dropped my tag. Yeah, here we go. Oh, Punchia, Dark Night. So I got this one from Poots Nursery. Pink flowers, it says. So I'm gonna put the tag back in there, although I know what it is. So anyway, I have one more little project to do, so we'll get that done. So I'll bring you right back. Okay, the last thing I want to do in this video is I want to fill this little area in with some soil. I'm just going to dump it right in there. I wanted it to go this way, not backwards. That's okay. Let me try that way. There we go. I want to fill this in. Let that get down in there. And I want to make sure it stays back in here. Oops, did it again. Whew. Get that dead leaf off of there. Try not to touch. Oh, I thought that was a bug. That scared me. I'm like creature. I love bugs, but you know, I want to know that they're there before they jump on me. Okay, so I want to pack this like this. And what I'm going to do is throw some ghosties in here to fill in this gap so that this is not sticking so far up. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I got some ghosties, and these are the ones I stuck in the barrel. So some of them, where'd it go, are already starting to form tiny little roots. I don't know if you can see that. Is it focusing? Focus. Whoops. So these are going to do really good, I think, in this area. And I'm just going to poke them in the dirt, just like I did over there, and let them fill this gap in. Try not to break too many of the leaves. Let them hold each other up. I do need to take a couple leaves off of this one. Stick you in there. And these will take off and fill this whole area in and look really cute. It looks like I need a few more. I didn't quite get enough. Let me go get a couple more. Okay, got a few more here. And I did bring this one big piece with this chunk of root, but look at all the roots on it already. It's already sending out. I kind of want to set this in this gap here, if I can get it down in there. I didn't really want to see that big stalk sticking up. No, that's not going to look good like that. Okay, let me move this one out of there and fill this back up. It's probably good. I think that's good. Let's tuck some dirt back up in there. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm just gonna throw a little more fresh top dressing in here so that you can't see my little mess that I just made. And this will also help hold up these plants until they really establish their roots down under here. Get under there. And now you can't even tell that I did anything. Okay, let's get out of the way here. Let's see how that looks. Let me take you off. Yeah, that looks much better. So now, even from this back side, you can't see how tall that front one is. I got thorns in my fingers. Yeah, that looks much better. And those fill in the back. And even if you peek around this way, looks good. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Okay. And those will grow really quick. Those are going to be really happy because it's so cool this time of year. I was a little concerned about my tapestry that I did the other day because those were all cuttings, most of it, and we just got 1.5 inches of rain in one day. But everything was so dry, hopefully it just soaks it up really quick, but it's still, let me cover it with my shadow. See if you can see it a little better. Yeah, look at the color on there, so pretty. It still looks good, but it'll take a while. If anything's gonna rot, I'll start seeing it. And then this, from this side, look at the color, looks really nice. I love that purple, beautiful Pearl von Nürnberg. And then the little ghosties. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, so that's it for this one. My next video, hopefully, is going to be this area here. I really want to get this all ripped out, reset. Some of the stuff I'm going to leave alone. I'm not going to mess with the fret eyes because they just are just looking amazing. I will trim back some of that. And then all of the ghosties and all of this stuff in front is all going to come out and be reset. What you can't see, unless you look really closely, is there's a huge big long piece of driftwood that curves all the way around, and you can't even see it. I had planted everything around the front of it, and I thought it would look really cute, and it did, but now it's all grown in and overgrown, so I need to pull that back out so we can see it again. But otherwise, yeah, this section will be next, and I'll probably do it tomorrow, I think, hopefully, so you'll be seeing that pretty soon, so stay tuned. If you're still watching, thank you. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And I will see you next time.